Messy Streets is Studios.
Hey everybody, so I wanted to talk about my blind date experiences. I don't think a lot of women talk about that because maybe theirs was like really torturous and bad. But I wanted to talk about my blind date experiences, and I'm gonna like put them in a series so that you guys can just, start from A to B, right? So, my first blind date experience was actually, I had some friends in high school, and most of these were high school, like, matchups, which a lot of them was horrible. Some of them were good, but I don't know, some of them were horrible. Some of them I met from my girlfriends, and they knew, like, these guys, and they would try to hook me up with them and stuff like this. So I'm like, okay. So the first one, my friend, she had hooked me up with him. I'm gonna just call her H. H well, it wasn't like a hookup. It was practically a blind date, right? Because she was like, oh girl, she said, I'm gonna pick you up and we gonna go here, and then you gonna meet this guy. And the thing about these blind dates is that a lot of these women that do these blind dates, the dude that they're talking to, or the man that they're talking to, she's been talking to him for a while, so she's comfortable with her date. But it's like, I always felt like I was a third wheel, and she just always wanted to take me along because she didn't want to be by herself, even though she knew her dude, like she knew him very well. So anyway, so we go up there, we drive up there, and we get there, and I knew that I should have asked this girl what he looked like, because it's like most of these blind dates and stuff like that, I'm like, these dudes ain't even, like, you gotta be at least a little bit attractive. You ain't gotta be no Brad Pitt, you ain't gotta be no Will Smith, but at least come with something that's attractive. So we get there, he's not attractive at all. He's overweight. He just looks unhealthy. He looks like he eats fries and burgers all day long with a whole bunch of mayonnaise and falling out the bottom. Like, gosh. I'm like, lady, you couldn't have did no better than that. So I'm trying my best to be nice, and as soon as we get there, guys, I want it to be over. It was just so dreary. I just had a feeling that I just don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I just didn't want to be there. So I tried my best. He was talking or whatever, and then he tried to hold my hand, and I was like, no. So she's in there doing what grown folks do. And he's asking me all these questions, but the questions that he is asking me, y'all, and the way he's talking to me, it's like he wants to, you know what I'm saying, like he wants to have sex. And I'm like, what kind of bull crap is this? And I'm looking at this dude like, dude, I'm not having sex with you. I don't know what my friend told you, but I did get with her, y'all. When we left there, I did get with her. I was like, what? Why would you tell him that it was going to be something like, this was going to be some type of get together where we're having relations and stuff like that? She was like, no, I ain't never tell him that. I said, well, that's not what he thought. I said, because as soon as you guys went in the room, he started talking some bull crap, talking about this, that, and the third. She was like, oh no, she said, you know what, I'm gonna call my friend and tell him that his friend shouldn't be doing that. I was like, yeah, he definitely shouldn't be doing that, because that's definitely was not going to happen at all. Because first of all, you're not attractive, you're overweight. Second of all, you don't know how to talk to a woman, and he just made me feel uncomfortable, y'all. So after we were there for a minute, she was like, girl, she said, you ready to go? I said, yes. I said that yes with all I had, with the fully grace, like I just got $1 million. I was like, yes. And the dude was looking at me. He was like, oh, he said, well, it was nice to meet you. Hopefully we can meet again. Y'all, and I'm thinking in the back of my mind, dude, we ain't never meeting again. We ain't never meeting again. You can forget that. This is your last time seeing me, bro. I was like, no sorry, Bob. Because it wasn't just that he was unattractive, guys. It was like he didn't even know how to talk to nobody. Like, as soon as you meet a woman, you don't start talking about having sex with them. You don't start talking about stuff like that. Having relations with somebody. Like, you don't even know me. And I definitely don't know you. I just came with my friend because she wanted me to come and she said she didn't want, even though she knew the guy like that, she said she didn't know his friend and she didn't want to be there with two guys. So I understood that. So that's why I went with her. But I was like, girl, he was a trip. I said, I don't ever want to see him again. And she was like, yeah, she said, because I'm going up there like, I think I'm going up there in like 2 more weeks. And I was thinking, you were thinking what? I know you weren't thinking that I was going, lady. No, you weren't thinking that. You weren't thinking that. I was like, girl, I'm not going up there again. At all. Like, no sorry, Bob. The fish is gone. The fish is out of the water. The fish is out of the water. He can't swim no more. He can't do it no more. Y'all, I was so glad to be over with that blind date. When I got home, I took a shower and I went straight to bed. I went straight to bed, y'all. I was just so over that night. And I knew it was going to be some BS. I knew it was going to be some BS. I knew it was going to be some BS, y'all. So I was like, oh my God. OMG. It was just so, it was just so. I was like, who would ever want to be with somebody like that? I don't know. I mean, you have some women that are desperate. Some women are just desperate that they can get anybody. And that's sad. Like, I think a lot of women need to go to, like, self-love classes. Like, classes that have to do with self and loving yourself and not settling for anything. Because, look, there are a lot of people on, like, social media and stuff, and they're sitting there trying to get people to settle, but that's not what you should do. You should never settle. You should have self-worth and know your value and know that, hey, I'm not going to settle for anything, because I definitely wasn't going to settle for that. That was a complete catastrophe. It was just so, it was so cringy. And to have to sit there with him for like a whole hour, and he's sitting there talking like he's gonna get something, and I'm just looking like it ain't happening. For a whole hour I had to sit and look at this piece of crap man. Overweight. He just looked unhealthy, unattractive. Looked like he ain't seen a workout machine since it seen him. He just looked like the type, like a couch potato. They just sit home and just eat and eat and eat and don't do nothing. Probably ain't got no job. Who knows whose place that was? It probably was the dude that she was hooking up with. I don't know. It could have been his place, but it was a trailer. So I'm like, you got a trailer, you don't have a house. Now I'm not saying it's not nothing wrong with living in a trailer, but that trailer and the way that trailer worked and looked, no. It was a catastrophe. A catastrophe that I don't think any woman would want to deal with, not unless she was desperate. And honey, we already know how that goes. We already know how that goes. So guys, this was part 1 of my blind dates. Okay? So stick around for part 2, because you won't believe this one. Oh, you just not gonna believe it. Stick around. I'll see you later. Follow me.